What's up, everybody? We are going to smoke the SP1014 Red Original Blend from 1995. Look at that beauty. That is a beauty. So, I know Sange doesn't carry a cutter, but we're going to cut it. But we're going to soft flame it like he does with a Bic, just like we did the other one. Hold on. All right. My daughter had a question and she don't want to be on camera or her voice, so I respect that. So anyway, we cut it, which you guys see, and all I did is pause the camera. So this one has just like the other one. You guys know I don't really go off of the cold draws, right, before you light them, because for me it never really translates. But on the wrapper and the draw on this one, it's kind of spicy, which is interesting because the black was kind of spicy too. But you smoke the blends of today, and they're pretty, I mean, they have a touch of spice, but they're pretty mild. They're like a mild medium, in my opinion. And that black from 95 was medium plus. And this one, I don't know, but just on the tip of my tongue from that, it's like crushed red pepper, kind of. I don't know if this is gonna work because we're not in the truck, and there's a breeze today. We actually got thunder and lightning last night, dry thunder and lightning, which for me is a good thing because that means there might be some fires that are in the hills that we'll find out about, and we'll get called out and go to work. Oh, I don't know if this is gonna work. So I don't know Sange personally, but what I've learned from him in watching his interviews and his lives, he doesn't carry a cutter, he doesn't carry a torch lighter. He always uses a Bic lighter, from what I've seen and heard. I really never seen him how he cuts them. I think maybe he just pinches them or he bites. I don't know. I've never actually seen that part. So that part I'm kind of interested in. Maybe we'll have to ask him in a live once. A lot of time I don't get to catch the lives. I have to watch them afterwards because, you know, I'm busy when they come on. This isn't really working very well. I really want to light this with a soft torch or a soft flame. I want to give it a toast before we... I do find it very interesting on how he stores them. I mean, and people are like, you know, about the basement. Basements are like old root cellars, especially where he's from in New Jersey. That kind of basement, it's not like your standard house basement. It's a shop basement, so it's probably the same square footage as upstairs, right? But just like a root cellar, basements, they hold a temp. This just like back in the day before refrigerator and stuff. You put your canned foods, your jarred foods, because people would jar and can all the time, and you'd put them in your root cellar. You'd even put your fresh vegetables down there, and they would stay fresh without a refrigerator, because it holds a certain temp of the earth, you know. So I could see why his basement works just fine as a humidor without humidity. Just think, if these have been down there for that long, and he, you know, I say dug in his basement, I'm sure he knew exactly where they were. He went and released them to the wild so the rest of us can try them, which is very nice of him. If he's had these that long, just think of what else he's had down there that's not seen the wild in a long time, you know. Oh, the breeze stopped for a second. Okay, well, that's not really working. We're going to torch it. I tried. You guys seen? I tried to do it like Sange would. We're just gonna give it the old torch. Because I really want to even burn. Ooh, that is spicy. Definitely way spicier than the blend we get these days. Now the black was nutty right off the bat. This one, not so much on the nutty side. And the spicy is more like crushed red pepper. Not overpowering, but it's there. This almost has more of a tang to it. So off the get-go, the black is definitely better. This is good, but not as good as the black. This has more of a, like I said, more of a kind of a tang, and a slight leather bitterness. And this one's right off the truck out of the mill. It got here probably 4 days before I got home. I said I was out for 10, 11 days, something like that this time. I don't know, I lose track personally. Like 10 or 11 days. And I think this got here about 4 or 5 days ago. So it's been waiting for me. We opened it last night. I was going to smoke one last night, but it didn't happen. So today we're smoking it. He doesn't use Boveda packs with the he'll send other cigars with Boveda packs, but with these he does not, because that's not how they were stored. So it's kind of a like a musty flavor to it, good, but it's like a good tobacco musty, not like a moldy musty, but like a musty in the tobacco. I don't know how to say it, but it actually tastes good. And then there's that tang, and then on the very, very end, it kind of is. I was thinking more leathery bitter, but almost more like a metallic bitter. But it's not the kind of bitter that I can't handle, like the green, grassy, nasty bitterness. It's not that kind of bitter. It's almost like a woodsy bitter. And these are Toro also. I don't know if I said that, but look, just like the blacks, these are Toro. Nice ash so far. Got a little wonky burn going on right there, but it's the breeze, so I'm going to turn it, and hopefully the breeze will straighten it up. I'm digging this so far. Now, At this point of the red versus the black, if I had to choose, if I could only have one more of one or the other at this point of the cigar, I would choose the black. That was just banger, banger. This is banger. The black is banger, banger. But we're just at the beginning. And this is really a good cigar. It just has that little bit of that tangy slash bitter, but it's not the horrible bitter, because you guys know I don't do that other bitter. I can't handle it. But the end of the retro is almost that creamy nuttiness that I got out of the black. It's not quite the same, but it's like it's wanting to develop. It's just right at the very end of that, like it's trying to come out, which it may once this settles in. But there is definitely a difference between the two. And the other one was more of a black pepper, which turned into that sweet white pepper. This one, right from the get-go, even on the cold draw, which I usually don't go off of, that kind of a crushed red pepper, like what you put on chili flake, or that you would put out like on your pizza, is kind of sticking around. It's not overpowering. It has settled down a little bit, but it's still on my tongue, and it's like still on my lips from the wrapper. Man, what a cigar. The ashes are developing nicely. Still a little off on the back. This one is another one that after each puff, my mouth waters. It's not a dry smoke. It's making my mouth water. And I'm drinking a Diet Coke with this one. I had coffee with the other one, so probably should have had coffee with this one, but we have more we can do. The only thing about the other ones is they're in the Tupperware. Not Tupperware. Mine aren't Tupperware. They're big Tupperwares that are humidified by Boveda. So hopefully it don't change these that much, or if it does, it doesn't change them for the worst. So I'm kind of worried about that, but I didn't know how else to store them for where I live, you know. Because I want to be able to smoke on these for a while to come. Anyway, we're going to let this settle in, because as I talk to you guys, I just keep puffing. And we're going to let it settle in and develop slower than what I'm doing right now. But it's good, and it makes you want to keep puffing on it. I mean, the draw on this one is just, look at that smoke just bellowing out of the end, just like the other one. But yeah, like I was saying, if he's had these down there for that long, just think what else he's storing that nobody's seen or hasn't seen the day of light in a long time. Pretty excited on what he might let out to the wild again here soon that hasn't seen the light of day in decades. All right, we'll be right back. All right, that's what we're looking like. Getting kind of evened out on the burn. So on the black, when I lost the ash in the truck and it hit it, it had like the oxygen getting to it that wasn't from the ash, made it a whole different flavor profile. So I'm gonna knock this one off and see if it does the same to this one. You know, it did actually. It's like if you have one of these, let that ash get kind of big and then knock it off and then try the next puff and you're gonna get a different flavor profile. It's like the extra air getting to it or something. I don't know. But that had more of a like a plum slash black cherry taste to it right there. Interesting. Mm. And there is a nice creaminess coming out in that retro hell at the end of it. And on the very finish, that slight bitterness that I was getting, that kind of tangy slash metallic, whatever, woody bitterness, is like no longer. But there is that kind of a fruity, black cherry kind of plum-ish flavor coming out in this. Very good. Very good. That first part, and you leave that big ash on there, and then you knock it off, and then you let that extra air get to it or something. That's the only thing I could think of. It totally changes the profile. But the tobacco in this, just alone, if you don't get anything else but the natural tobacco flavor, is really good. You know, you hear people that smoke cigars for a long time talk about tobacco from the day being different than tobacco these days. I can see why. I don't know what's different about it, or I don't know, but it's definitely a different tobacco. I don't know if it's a better tobacco than what we have now, or if what we have now is considered a better tobacco than what was done back then. But there is a difference. And you know, like when I smoke other aged cigars that I get from another place that ages them, I always get this tangy, which isn't the same tangy I got in this. But I always know it's an aged cigar by that tangy, and these do not have that aged tanginess, which is weird because they're not. These aren't aged and stored with Boveda, so I wonder if that's what makes the difference. Because those are aged, you know, 5, 6, 7 years in coolers with Boveda, and these have just been naturally aged in a basement with just relevant humidity and no Boveda. Big difference in the cigar. I would actually prefer aged this way, but not everybody has that kind of a basement, what he calls a basement, which it is. I'm sure it's downstairs, it's under street level, you know, it's a basement, not like what we would consider like a house basement, but a house basement would do the same thing, honest, just like a root cellar, like I said. But aging them that way with just the natural time and whatever taking effect and not an added humidity pack has definitely made a difference. Let alone it's just different tobacco too. So, but man, Sange, I know you're probably not going to see this video, but thank you again, just like I said on the blacks, for releasing those and these reds to the general public and letting us try such a unique, exquisite cigar. As of me smoking this, they are still available. They're not sold out yet. I mean, when else are you going to get your hands on a 30-year-old cigar that is still very good and smokable? Not very often. This just makes me excited for what else he might release down the road that's not seen the daylight in a while. Like I said in the other video on the black, I just recently have learned of Sange Patel. Probably going on a year now that I've learned of him. And actually the first time I ever heard of his name was through Cigar Hound Dog's video, where he was doing a humidor tour, and he was talking about some stuff that Sange gave him. And so from there, I paused that video and I looked up Sange Patel, and that's how I learned of him and started ordering cigars from him. And I actually wish I would have come across his name sooner in my cigar journey, so I could be enjoying his cigars. I could have been enjoying his cigars much longer than I have. But there's a reason for everything, right? Maybe my palate wasn't ready. My palate's still nowhere near like even Cigar Hound Dogs. I mean, that guy has a palate. It's amazing. But maybe at the timing was just right for where my palate was to be able to start enjoying the cigars that Sange blends, to where I can actually pick up good flavors and stuff. But even I'm saying, if all you're getting is just the tobacco flavor, you're really gonna enjoy it. It's a good tobacco. Even out of his other cigars, if all you get is just the tobacco flavor, the blends that he's doing now, even on the SP1014 red and black that we have now, the red and the passion and all that, and the charisma, the gas station sushis, they're good. They are good. There's a nice nuttiness coming out right there. Nutty creaminess starting to come out. We're about halfway in this. And that drawdown. I mean, just look at that smoke coming out of there. But I'm glad I come across his name, and I'm glad I looked into him and started smoking his cigars, because like I said, every single one I've got from him, they are his cigars. I mean, he sells other people's cigars too, but every blend of his that I've smoked, in my opinion, are bangers. Another good thing about him, in his practice of cigars, is he feels they should be at a price for everyone. He doesn't mark them up. If it's a different brand, he sells it at MSRP. He doesn't mark it up like other cigar shops or whatever, how they mark it up to make that extra profit, especially if it's a popular one. Anything you get from him, you can guarantee is at MSRP or lower. And that's a great practice. I think everybody should adopt that. Because they're going to make their money. People are going to buy them. Popular ones or not, they're going to buy them. And you're still going to make money. So I appreciate that also that he does. It's a good practice to have. So anyway, we'll be back. I'm just chattering. That's where we're at. I went ahead and ashed it. There's a slight rye breadiness, like what you would use for a patty melt. I think that's a rye bread. There's a slight breadiness. Hold on. All right, anyway, what I was saying, almost kind of like a rye bread is coming out for the breadiness flavor in this. And then you get that little bit of crushed red pepper still on the tongue, but then you get a nice nutty creaminess on the finish of the retro and on the finish of the palate. I'm enjoying this. Not much else has changed. We're about to the band. So I'll come on there or past it. If anything else changes before the band, I'll come back. If not, it'll be at the band or after the band. So, you know, it'd be fun. is to get some seeds of just tobacco plant seed. In our area this time of year, we probably could grow some plants. So anybody knows where you get your hands on any seeds, let me know. It'd be kind of fun to try to grow a couple plants. Just an idea popped in my head all of a sudden. I don't know. Too much time on my hands right now. I'm home. I've been home since, well, I was home all day yesterday, and I'm home all day today, and I leave tomorrow, so we'll get 2.5 days off. Definitely not too much time on my hands, but I'm enjoying my home time. And we're on the porch. It's a little warm, but there's a nice breeze, so not having to suffer in the heat or go sit in the tent, which would really be bad right now. It'd be really hot. I have a portable AC I need to put in there so I can, because it gets so hot here that even when I am home, there's parts of the day where I don't even want to come outside and smoke a cigar. It's nice tonight, so anyway, all right, we'll be back. I'm just rambling again. Oh yeah, one more thing. This is also a part 2 of celebrating 1,500 subscribers. So this was the other special cigar I wanted to smoke when we got home, because I knew it was waiting for me. So anyway, thank you to all of you. 1,500, and we're already past that. We've already gained like another 10 subscribers, so appreciate every single one of you for continuing to watch and show the channel support. We're just going to keep doing our thing and keep growing and keep smoking. So, alright, I'll be back for now. Alright, this is where we're at. We got a little funky burn going on, but the flavors aren't really changing much. So we're going to go ahead and call the video quit here. SP1014 Red Original Blend from 1995 30-year-old cigar. By Sange Patel. Very good. Very happy with it. Between the two, the black, in my opinion, is better than this red. But this is still a really good cigar. This is a banger. The black is a banger. Yeah, that kid. Anyway, all right, guys. I rambled long enough on this video. It's gonna be long about all kinds of stuff. So, thanks for the 1,500 subscribers. Appreciate you all. We're just gonna keep rolling. And next time I catch you, we'll probably be in the truck because we gotta leave out again tomorrow. So. I do have a couple of porch videos that I have in the backlog. Maybe I'll put those out. We'll see. Anyway. Lost my train of thought. That's a good place to end the video. Thanks for tuning in. As always, try different sticks. And always keep it smoky, my friends.